also, let's talk about what Kanye was like back in the day when you knew him. A totally different dude than the dude he is today, right?
Totally different, yeah, with small glimpses into who you know now. But basically, I was a kid, and he was a kid, and I was given his Beat CD by my manager, and I fell in love with it. There was so much good stuff on it, all soul samples that I loved, and the song that eventually became H to the Izzo for Jay-Z was on there, and that was shockingly good. And so I was like, I want to meet this guy. And so we end up on the phone, and then we end up meeting in New York, and he's just very nerdy, man. I don't know how else to put it. He was like my very personal Bowfinger. Like, I showed up, and he was wearing like this big Aniche jumpsuit. He had adult braces, and he just was such a dweeb, and I liked it. It was very endearing. But there is no world where I can't believe that person is like having fashion shows. There's no one in the world that and he was a producer. He wasn't a rapper. Like his managers wouldn't even really let him talk about being a rapper because it made sessions awkward.
Well, you write about in the book how he rapped a song. He rapped a song, and everybody, when he left the room, laughed at his abilities as a rapper.
Yeah, and I was there in Baseline when he would do that a lot, and so we would end up in a room with famous people because they're recording there, because they're working on my thing, and he would hang out all the time just as a friend. And so he would go in and be like, "Yo, I want to play you this song," and then he'd play Jesus Walks. This wasn't a random song. He would play Jesus Walks, rap it, and he would, while it's on, he would stand up and mimic it, the same stuff he does now, very loud, and these people would just look at their two-way and keep like no one would even pay attention to him. He'd leave the room, everyone laugh, and then they'd look at someone else and be like, "Can we make sure that never happens again?"
What?
And that would happen to Kanye West, like that, and I saw it with my own eyes, and so
that's crazy.
Yeah, and so people just weren't into it, and that's why you see this guy who sort of like works in this insecure space now, and he's so he deserves to be there because of what he's went through, and I think he's not willing to hear anything else.